what I had to do for I See What You Did There for this episode is cull a lot of previous Vine users' names, but I picked all people's names that I think everybody knows. Like they're
Oh,
within the realm of
okay.
reasonable understanding. It
Like,
wasn't like, you know,
I only know one.
Hank
uh-oh.
Jeffco the fourth who did one Vine about pooping. Like I didn't pull that kind of nonsense.
How'd you figure out my Vine
Uh-oh.
name?
Uh-oh. Yeah, I was never good at Vine names. I was good at the Vine punchlines.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, and
There's
Chelsea,
out.
honestly, like in the video, it's really like good job. I mean, it's a hell of a poop. I gotta say,
You're
been a
welcome.
lot
I
of
did it
poops
for
in
the
my
world.
life. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you can now find me on TikTok at Hank Jeffco. What was I? Sorry.
Hank Jeffco the third. Yeah,
Poops.
the
I do actually follow someone who talks about his poops. Pretty like that's his shtick on TikTok.
Oh,
Well, he tries
He-
different foods
he
to
has a
see how
shit
bad
shtick.
of diarrhea he can
he's
get.
got a shit shtick.
Yeah, he's got a shit shtick. It's one of my
I
favorite
wonder-
TikToks.
I wonder if this is the same guy who runs a website
Oh, I don't
where
know.
he ranks his poops and his friends vote on them.
I don't think
I'm
that
only
that's
half
it.
remembering
But
this.
wow,
It was.
how'd you find my website? No, I'm just kidding. Why haven't you been voting?
and I mean, come on, got a really good year to be doing this because the electoral tie-ins are just
Yeah.
sitting right
Oh,
there. Am I
geez.
right? I mean, it's all poop.
Oh, you know.
Ahoy, listeners! This is Debut Buddies. It's a fortnightly podcast about firsts. I'm Nate. I'm one of the buddies.
I'm Kelly. I'm an additional buddy.
I'm Chelsea. I'm the other buddy.
Yay.
Yay! And you would hope, probably, that this podcast was 6 seconds long or less. Because nothing could be finer than talking about the original Viner.
Oh.
Yay. Who was the original Viner? I watched the Vine. I didn't read the guy's name. See,
Was
I'm
it the
not going
former
to crush.
CEO
It's
of
Yeah, of Twitter.
it's a co-founder, maybe? Yeah, it's a co-founder of Vine
I just read about it. I didn't
named
watch
Dom
it.
Hoffman.
That's it.
Well,
There
okay,
are
so we're
two.
already getting into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay,
But
look, let's talk about Vine for a second before we go too far
Yeah.
down this specific rabbit hole. We're all familiar with TikTok. Well, what if it was made in America and shorter, and Twitter bought it and shut it down arbitrarily when Elon Musk
Yeah.
bought
People
Twitter?
remember Vine, right?
People gotta
I don't
remember
know.
Vine.
It's kind
I
of weird.
still watch Vine compilations on TikTok when they come up, and I'm like, yes, yes.
Yeah, I watch them on YouTube.
Yeah, so
I
good.
love them.
Look, it was a wonderful thing. It created the boomerang thing that people were doing for a while
did it
too,
create the
right? Wasn't that on
boomerang?
Vine?
Oh, is it just because it?
I
No,
don't think
that's
so.
like
I
on
think Boomerang
Instagram.
That was a
Insta.
separate thing altogether. See, this is where
Yeah.
I
I
get
think
confused
so.
about this stuff.
Nate's so old.
No, I really am. Look,
Not
here's the
hip to
thing.
the Vine.
I just only got used to the idea of photos being on the phone, and then suddenly they started moving.
Mm, yeah.
What am I supposed
No,
to
it's
do
wild.
with this?
I don't know. Do you get startled frequently thinking that like your phone's come to life or
Oh yeah.
that somebody is calling you?
Every single time I see a GIF, it's like that movie of the train where everybody just gasps in the theater because they think they're going to be mowed down.
you're you're actually running outside screaming, crying, throwing up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my thing. Like, you should see.
Same.
I should start my own. You'd start my own like Instagram about screaming, crying, and throwing up in the street. That's just what I do.
Oh, I'm rolling away.
But yeah, Vine. So Vine is where they were like, we can make videos and you can post them, but the videos, as tech loves, arbitrary limitations that make the thing seem more interesting. Let's make them only 6 seconds. That's as long as your video can be.
But the loop, man. But those videos looped.
It's true. So
That was clutch.
Oh.
That's what made it successful, in my opinion.
they were the lava lamp of the early internet.
In my opinion.
Yeah, sorta. Yeah. Although you know what it's gonna do next.
Mhm.
It's what you just saw 6 seconds ago.
Yeah. But I mean, kind of what a lava lamp does too. It's not like the wax like does a
Oh.
jig. It just sort of keeps bobbing around.
That's true. That's true. I was imagining like the old screensavers where you're like waiting for the logo to hit the corner perfectly. You remember when they like
yeah.
bop around the
Oh, yeah.
rim of the
I always did the maze.
the boundary of the screen?
Where you go through the maze and then you're just really dizzy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good times.
Do either of you know, is 6 seconds like the amount of attention that most people can be guaranteed to offer before they give up? Is it that thoughtful, or is it just like, 6 seconds?
I didn't read anything behind why, but I just assumed it was like a to spur creativity, like putting that kind of a box around it to make you more
The
creative.
constraint.
That's it. That's the word. Thank you.
I got you.
Beautiful.
Sure.
No, I do think that it had something to do with attention,
Mm.
which is something that I learned on Vine, watching a Vine. So it's hard to know how true that is. But it was, gosh, I can't remember his name. He was very funny. Probably continues to be very funny. Yeah, he had a Vine where it was like a blooper. It started with him recording a Vine that I had seen, and then one of his friends in the background, you hear him go, "Why are they just 6 seconds?" And he like looks up and starts answering immediately, like, yeah, something to do with the human attention span. I
Okay.
don't know. That's all
We
I
should have
know.
Googled the science.
Didn't check the science.
Did anyone ever make a Vine that encapsulated 6 seconds of the movie 8 Seconds starring Luke Perry about bull riding?
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But I don't
Did it get a lot
know
of
for sure.
traction? Because you weren't
Almost
watching
certainly
it
not.
online. Oh.
Yeah,
Nobody got it, so
because that movie would be a specifically interesting one to do 6 seconds out of the final 8 seconds, because the final 8 seconds are so brutal in that movie. Have you both seen that movie? Have you both seen 8 Seconds with Luke Perry?
No,
I do
love
like Luke Perry.
He's a young bull rider, and he's riding that bull, and you got to 8 seconds.
stay
You
on
stay
for
on there
8
8 seconds. You're a real rodeo guy.
There's got to be at least some vines where
Whoa.
people try to stay on a bull for 6 seconds.
That would be
So,
something,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Those exist.
Yeah.
I probably saw at least two.
What I'm yeah, what I'm
sheeps.
imagining though is people trying to get flung off as fast as possible, like like the most
Dramatic fashion.
yes, thank you.
Beautiful.
So, did you guys watch Vine? Did you guys use Vine? Nate's a no.
No, you know what? I did. I had Vine on my phone for a brief period of time. This would have been probably back when I had like a Samsung phone. This was a while. This was a while ago. This was more than a decade ago. Vine premiered.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was more than a decade ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah, January 24th of 2013. 2013 was when Vine came to be.
Was 2016 when it went to go?
Yes. Horrible year. Terrible vintage.
Oh, 2016 was the worst year.
I know.
around.
I
Just
remember.
Lots of stuff didn't work out.
Is
They
that why they
announced-
got rid of it? Because of politics? Sorry. That's why they're going to... That's fine.
I mean, yes, if you zoom out far enough, I don't think it was specifically the election, but it was capitalism.
Yeah.
Why they shut it off.
That's about right. Did they have vines about politics ever?
Oh,
I don't
yeah, they
remember
must have.
any that are still relevant, but most politicians disappear into time.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the one? Yeah. No. Sorry. Howard Dean, is that the guy? Who
Oh
would
yeah, Howard.
love
Yeah,
to have
Howard
him
Dean.
back.
Howard Dean did his woohoo
Yeah,
at the end
just
of his like
punch in
stump
the air
speech.
and-
And
Oh,
somehow that
love
was
that.
enough to completely destroy. Like he was the leading
Of course.
Democratic candidate, and
Don't
then
get too
suddenly
excited.
he wasn't anything anymore. Just for being like enthusiastic about something, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's silly.
But then if you're
It's a
Al
silly
Gore
owl.
not being enthusiastic enough, sorry.
Right.
Mm.
That didn't work. Didn't work for John Kerry either. He wasn't that enthusiastic.
You got to find the right balance.
Yeah. Apparently, there's just a lot of things you got to do that really aren't very good, and then you can get a lot of people to love you unconditionally. It's strange, but it works.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think I could hire that worm to eat brain?
Oh, hell yeah. I think
Oh no, the worm
I don't
was
think you have to
dead.
pay for it. I think
fair.
just go into some like murky water, but then
Yeah.
you might get that bad one.
Yeah, no, I want a resume and a cover letter
That's fair.
for
Who
the worm,
other
from the
brains that
worm.
they have consumed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I don't want a worm who's going to go in there and like make me evil. I just want
Well,
one who's going to eat
it
the
might make
anxiety
life
part.
easier.
Great. Sure.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder. We
That's what
talked
I'm
about this
looking
with
for.
wrestling.
It's true. This is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's harder to not hurt people. So maybe being evil, things are easier.
Oh, that's true. It probably
Yeah.
is.
Ugh.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I think the best part about being evil would be that most evil people believe through self-justification that they're doing the right thing. And that
Right.
implies an amount of confidence in knowing what the right thing is that I don't think any of the three of us have ever felt in our entire lives. So it's like, yeah, I think I know what the right thing is to do, but it's scary. And they're like, no, the right thing is for me to take what I want right now. And they're just like, okay, great. And I'm doing it. And that's it.
Oh, good. That was decisive.
Yeah.
I guess.
Did you guys hear about? I'm maybe taking this quote out of context because sometimes I do that. Or I just read a small snippet of an article and it might be taken out of context. But Trump yelling at his kids for hunting trophies.
No.
Yeah. Like
No, I
doing
didn't
like
hear about
the
this.
and I was like,
The
oh,
big game.
oh,
hunting?
I don't disagree. That's something I don't disagree with. He was like, that's
I
just
mean-
really stupid. You shouldn't do it. And he called him a fucking idiot. And then Don Jr. had to walk out with his head held low. That was like the end of the thing. And I was like, oh, that's
Oh.
cute.
But here's the thing: is he might not even believe that. He just wants to bully Don Jr.
Ooh, good point. Good
You know?
point. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or
Okay, I'm back.
follow me. Did any of the animals that they shot and killed at all resemble Ivanka?
A hot lady. Oh,
No.
right.
Because if so, allegedly, it could be.
do you think that they like roared with an accent?
Yeah, there you go. Got a little accent roar. Got a little daddy-daughter dance vibe going on. Like, doing classic creep stuff. Don't shoot that beautiful
Yeah.
giraffe. It looks like my beautiful daughter that I can't...
The long
something.
legs.
Yeah.
The slim neck.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
know, he's a creep. That's it.
True.
You're right.
Very
You're
true.
right. But not Vine.
Not Vine. Vine's
Vine.
not a creep.
There is
Vine's-
some creepy stuff on Vine.
And vines, in fact, do creep in nature.
Oh my God.
Virginia Creeper
You're
being
so
a
right.
prominent
You're both
vine.
So right.
What's important is we're fully on the rails here and we're doing
Yeah.
great.
hmm
Going back to our trolley problem joke of a couple episodes ago, we just can't pick which row of tied up people to mow down.
No.
But we're moving. We're moving forward.
I'm gonna jump in front of the trade. I'll stop it. Don't worry.
Just like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I watched some Vines. It didn't seem that interesting to me because it was so short, but at the same time, we now live in an era where Reels exist, as do TikToks. They function pretty much the same way. And as far as the attention span thing goes, I find myself frequently like, I'm bored after a few seconds of most of them. So the ones that deliver something quickly are the ones that hold my attention because
Yeah.
then I might hang and watch it loop
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Well, and like you were saying with the constraint of 6 seconds, I mean, you're forced to really get to the point.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got to cut all the fat out of it. And so sometimes the jokes were happening so fast, you had to have the loop. Like you have to watch it again to like fully let the punchline land in a delightful way, not in like a, oh, I don't know. I guess sometimes you were like, that didn't quite work. But so many times I was like, that was funny again. And then on the second time, I'm like, there's this other layer. How are you doing layers in 6 seconds? So funny.
So it's like a Kendrick Lamar diss track.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I-
I'm just
with
being
you.
very of the moment, right?
No, I have an article open on my phone that's going to unpack it all for
Oh,
me.
good.
Because
Okay.
you know I love Kendrick.
And there's so much drama and it's so good. And after we get done recording, You know what? We might record this after, and then when you guys subscribe to our Patreon, you can hear me just talk all about it. I had something to say about modesty. Never mind. Just edit that. Me saying stuff out.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to. It's fine. It's just no one got what I was saying. It's fine. Let's carry on.
No, this is all a good tease for the Patreon later. If you want to find out what Chelsea was going to say, send us $1,000.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth $1,000, I think, especially with how much food costs these days, right? Come on.
Yeah.
So I
It's
get a
a
donut.
bagel.
Oh, I'm glad we both thought of the same type.
That's right.
Same
That's right.
shape.
You don't even get
Breakfast
you don't even
foods?
get a whole thing anymore. You get something with a
No.
hole in it. It's $1,000. I mean, what are these designer jeans?
Are they still doing that? Also, can
Are
you
we
imagine a
looping back around to it?
distressed donut?
Yeah.
I just see like waving arms, like ah.
See, now that's a vine.
No. The little donut's already got its mouth agape, screaming into the abyss.
Yeah.
You just need to put
Yeah.
arms and googly eyes on it. It's done. It's
Yeah,
ready.
it's done.
This shit
Yeah.
writes itself. So Vine gets created technically before 2013 when it comes out, but it's purchased by Twitter in 2012, even before they launch the product. And Vine only lasts until 2017, January of 2017. So it probably was directly related to the election. It was like, Trump's in office, we gotta get this shit out of here.
No, they announced in October,
Oh,
very close to Halloween. I only
What a
remember
nightmare.
that because yes,
why would they ruin Halloween
yes.
like that?
I don't
Why?
know. I was so
That is
upset. That
fine.
is exactly why I remember when it happened because I was like, "How dare you? How dare you do this to me on
This holy
the
day.
eve of my hollow?"
All of your hollows. They kept the archive of Vines alive until April of
Not
2019.
long.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's depressing. Thank goodness for all the people that saved them and made compilations.
Truly.
You are doing the Lord's work. I'm just saying.
I mean, some of them still exist in some form because we were able to watch the first Vine
I
places.
didn't.
I mean,
Not
I just
the,
read
not the
about
first
it.
first. The very first one is lost to time.
Yes.
Was it the train?
The train one is lost to time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
came right at the screen. I threw up and ran into the street.
And they were like, "This is too dangerous.
Yeah.
We got to take
They're
this
like,
down.
we gotta start over.
We got to slow roll this power."
We were making a reference, but it's not working. The Lumiere brothers were dangerous in their time, and they're dangerous in ours.
Trains, man. Trains.
They relaunched the thing. Well, Dom Hoffman, one of the co-founders of Vine, launches a new iteration called Byte, B-Y-T-E,
Yeah.
in January of 2020. And, I mean, what could go wrong in January of 2020 to stop the
absolutely
product launch of a social thing requiring a lot of video and people being able to go places and do stuff?
When did Quibi
Oh
come
my
out? Do you
God.
guys remember Quibi?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick bites.
Yeah,
They were like everybody's commuting and they
that's what
need
they
and they
are,
need
quick
7-minute
bites.
long things. Yeah. Yeah. We need to make content that's short enough that you can
What would I
ride
do
the
without
subway
you,
and
Nate?
watch an entire episode. And then boom,
that.
pandemic. And everybody's like, I have all the time in the world. Why would
Yeah.
I watch a 7-minute long anything?
True, but people were also roasting it before the pandemic,
it's
if
true.
I recall correctly.
It's a very silly idea. I mean, almost every podcast that I listen to this day has like a window of just all Quibi jokes, and that's all they did was make fun of the
yeah.
concept of Quibi. Even when people who they are friends with are guests on the episode and have
Wow.
Quibi shows, they're just like, "So
Oh,
how's
yeah.
Quibi going?"
Well, and most of the comedians that I heard who had Quibi shows were like, yeah, I mean, the pay is good.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think in the future we will look back at Quibi and be like, man, those are the lost Quibis? Like, do you think there will be
the
a
lost
need
quibs.
to lost Quibs? Yeah.
I was going to suggest that maybe we should do a first Quibi episode if we can track down what it was. That
Yeah,
would be
I'm in.
hilarious.
I'm down. I'm down.
Chelsea, to your point, I assume that, let's say, Blade Runner 2049, in that year, 2049, people will be like, wow, Quibi represents the last lingering long form media that exists.
Oh my
Oh
God.
We
God.
can't believe anybody made things as long as 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Whew.
Because now we just tap our head chips together and have a
All that
thoughtgasm
information.
that takes all of 16 thousandths of a second and then have to sleep the rest of the day because we have fried our neural net.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Chelsea and I started off being like horrible dystopian until the end.
I was like, and I just get a nap all day? That's what I've been asking
I'm
for
on board.
months.
So you're saying fun times followed by nap? I'm in.
Yeah.
That sounds
Great.
excellent.
Yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, Byte only exists until May of 2023. So lasts a really long time. I didn't remember Byte was a thing last year.
Yeah. No, I mean it wasn't. Not really.
Sure.
like it existed. Did you guys download Byte?
No.
I did.
Did anything
And
happen on it?
Did it
No.
bite?
No, unfortunately. I was paying attention to Byte when it was still being called V2.
Oh, okay.
Dom, was that his name?
Yeah, Dom Hoffman.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I was going to say Hoffmeister, which I guess I that is what I'm going to call him now, the Hoffmeister. Yeah, I remember when that was coming out, and he was being like very cagey about it, and he kept saying V2, and then when like what it actually was revealed, we were like, oh, so pretty literal then, I guess.
Oh.
Like,
So it wasn't
like, it's just
exactly the
Vine.
same.
It's Vine again. Yeah, I don't remember there being any differences. Maybe some longer videos were allowed because I think by then TikTok was coming up. But yeah, I went over to Byte, and because the loss of Vine was like devastating to me. So I went over to Byte, followed what Viners I had followed previously that I could find. And, you know, a couple of them posted a couple times. But when Vine ended, so many of the comedians like immediately
over.
found other avenues where they were successful.
Yeah.
So, you know, Byte didn't really take off.
It's kind of one of those things where YouTube already exists and has sort of taken over a lot of that anyway, right? Like YouTube seems to be the thing that most people universally use the most. And you can make a
Yeah.
6-second long YouTube video if you want.
You can. They have
Well,
YouTube
especially with
shorts.
shorts now. But the thing about shorts is you don't get monetized unless they're over a minute.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
That's super. At least that was the case maybe 6 months ago,
Okay.
a year ago when I was looking into it. It's possible it's changed.
And I could be wrong, but I hear they pay better than Reels and
YouTube pays
TikTok.
the best
Yeah.
of all of them. Yeah. And that was a big part, I think, of why people left Vine, creators left
Makes
Vine,
sense.
because they weren't getting paid unless they made specific brand deals. And that's hard, right?
Yeah.
You have to be like your own marketing person and
Oh,
contracting
yeah.
person.
Well, in your early
Whereas-
wave influencers where you're really blowing up, you're getting a lot of attention. You're bringing
You don't know how to do
traffic
any of
to
that.
the site. You're creating loop views that people have to
Yeah,
count.
dude. Oh, the loop counter. The loop counter. I loved Vine so much.
In 2022, when a certain South African super genius
No.
Ugh,
named Elon Musk bought
Blech.
the Twitter company,
Vom.
he put up a poll in October asking the simple question, bring back Vine? And a nice number of people replied that he should. 69.6%.
Hell yeah.
Did he alter those numbers?
God, he might have.
Oh, sure.
He fucking might
Of
have.
course. And here's why. So in October of that year, there were reports in Axios that Musk had asked Twitter's engineers to start working on rebooting Vine. Of course, it still hasn't happened. It's 2024. On April
That's
17th of this
smart.
very year, not even a month prior to the recording time right now, listeners, it's currently mid-May where we are. Where are you?
Mhm. Yeah,
What's your
where are
time
they?
cycle?
Elon Musk posted
Don't know where
again
they are.
the same question, asking, bring back Vine? And guess what percentage of people said yes?
Still
It's not the
69?
same, is it?
69.4. He lost
Huh.
0.2% of people represented entirely by bots, I assume is what he would say.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense
Oh.
to me.
No, it's because I wasn't there. I'm over on Blue Sky now.
There you go.
Lost my vote. There's no way I voted in that first one. I had that clown blocked.
Yeah. But just interesting that there is this whatever. Like, I mean, I don't know that I don't think Vine's ever going to come back, but because there's really no incentive to bring it back, it's an impossible to penetrate market at this point.
Well, I
Even
guess if they ban TikTok,
well, yeah, but
Vine
even if
might
they
have a
do,
chance.
I mean, it seems more likely to me
interesting.
that's like Microsoft's going to buy TikTok, right? Like some company that doesn't have a social media will buy TikTok that has the money.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think what my feelings about
McDonald's
that.
presents TikTok.
I think that that's very unlikely since TikTok is causing a big boycott on McDonald's.
What if they change it to McTalk?
Okay.
Right?
I
Not
feel like
to
that's
talk
a little-
about slurs against the Irish.
Yeah,
I want to
it's
be
like
clear.
wait a sec. Could it only be accessed?
It
by
suddenly has a
Irish?
mascot, and everybody has to be like, ooh.
Yeah. What is he doing with that green vest?
Why are we like this? Shamrock Shake. Did they do a Shamrock Shake, Harlem Shake mashup at any point?
I can
They
only
must
assume
have,
they
right?
would have to. Like that's
They
I
must
do
have.
love the Grimace Shake bit that they had.
Oh, the Grimace Shake bit was
Tops. That's not because
I
of
had
them.
never-
That's because of some creative
TikTok.
Yeah, would have been Viners if they TikTok
Would have been
never
Viners.
existed. That's that spirit. That spirit would still exist in a different
Yep.
platform.
Yep.
other cool things that Vine had that we should remember. This is a remembrance episode about Vine. In case you didn't know, we're just gonna eulogize
It's a
a
candlelight
bygone
vigil.
app. In August of 2015, they introduced Vine Music, which had a snap to beat feature so that you could create
How do you do this?
infinite music loops. The very thing
Oh.
that is almost impossible to do on Instagram. If you take a video and you want to lay over popular music on that, it is very difficult to get it to loop correctly. But
Oh.
this,
Well,
Vine
and
was like,
especially-
fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, Vine. I mean, because they knew that people were using the loop with music to do jokes. Like, that was so frequently the punchline was the seam between the loop. And so being able to snap it like that, that's so clutch. And the thing that Instagram has been doing lately is they cut the audio
Yeah.
like 500 milliseconds before the end. So you can't do that. You cannot achieve that. Even if you line it up perfectly, the audio fucking cuts.
Oh.
That sucks. Boo.
Yeah. Boo.
I've got critiques. I'm gonna have to go back to being a software developer just to
To fix
get up
some
in there and
stuff.
fix it.
Yeah,
everything
fixing
my
it from the
damn
inside is
self.
always a good plan. It never backfires.
Hi, I hate
Nope.
Facebook. Hire me. I'll make it better.
Although, you know what? No one said that in an interview today. I like your moxie, kid. You're hired. I got a corner office with a
Thanks.
foosball table for you.
Get the foosball out. Thank you.
Just the ball or the table? Are you leaving the table?
Hmm.
Put some glass on top of it. Use it. Put plants in it.
I think it would be
Yeah, I'll
cool
put
to get
plants
like
in
a
it. That's a good
busted
idea.
old foosball table and fill it in with what's that like clear polymer that hardens? Like do that.
Oh, like resin?
Yeah, make like a resin
yeah.
tabletop
Yeah.
where all the little soccer dudes are like trashed out, but they're still there,
Mm.
and you just freeze them
Yeah,
in
you
time,
can, like-
right?
Oh.
Whoa. This is art.
Yeah,
You've made some sort of exhibit.
like
Yeah, you've
immortality,
gotta-
and one of
you've
them's doing
gotta-
a
We gotta take this
bicycle
to our
kick.
Basil. We got to
Whoa.
get millions of dollars for this. Fund our podcast. That would be amazing. We are now converting over
So-
to an art collective
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
to fund our podcast.
We're gonna make a very popular.
Which is also art. So
Yeah, we're gonna have a very popular PBS show where we convert things till HGTV picks it up, and then this podcast is entirely funded by that. where we avoid talking about that show at all costs on every episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Achievable. I think we can do this.
Yeah, I mean, we do a great job not talking about it now, and we're already extremely famous, so I don't see it being a problem. January 2015, Vine launches Vine Kids, which is a Vine for people aged 7 to 12 to create a safe space for children to hang out so that you don't have to deal with the looping dick jokes and things or whatnot, and can instead...
Did that
Okay.
launch?
Yeah.
What did it have? Just like clips of Cocomelon?
They basically like employee curated stuff that was appropriate for kids.
Employee curated.
Yeah.
They were humans?
Yeah.
Putting it on
According to
there?
Wikipedia,
Whoa.
every video posted to the app was selected by Vine employees to ensure their safety.
So they select them. So there are vines that exist and they go through and they're like, this is okay for babies.
Yeah.
Boop.
Oh.
Baby okay.
Oh, no. Baby okay.
That would be a
That
fun job.
is
Just to watch vines all day and then choose
unsustainable.
baby okay. Like instead of having a like button, you have a baby okay button.
Yeah, or it's like swiping. You can do like
yeah.
Tinder but Vine.
I generally like the idea that we could all just wear a device that says baby okay when we're okay.
Baby okay.
How are you?
Because we're all babies.
Baby okay.
Baby okay.
Yeah,
Baby
we're all
okay.
babies. We're just all big babies. We got longer
I'm just a
in
baby.
ways, but we're still babies.
I'm just a weirdo baby.
Mhm.
I mean, literally, listeners, not to pull the curtain back too far,
Yeah.
but before this, I was like, can we push by 10 minutes? I need to cry a little bit. So,
Fair.
baby,
Baby
not
time.
okay today, but baby be okay later.
He's having a rough one, but baby is
Baby
doing a
needs
great
to
job.
soothe. Yeah.
Having a great
Thanks.
podcast.
Baby, say thank you. Baby grateful.
Baby group hug. So then here's some firsts from Vine that are kind of interesting.
Oh.
February 2013, a Turkish journalist used Vine to document the aftermath of the U.S. embassy bombing in Ankara.
Oh.
Shit.
It then became a promotional tool that year. Daft Punk, the band, put out an album that we all remember and revealed it with a Vine video. You might want to put a pin in that one for later.
Okay, thank you.
That's funny because you said we all remember it. Wasn't that one called Random Access Memories?
It is. That is
Wow,
what it's
that's
called.
We already got the.
Yeah,
We already
I
see
see what
what's
you're
done.
gonna
You're
do
gonna see
there.
what I did. You're gonna see what I do.
Can't wait.
It's like that's a raven.
It is.
You just.
Yeah, I should have done
All
like
right.
a.
September of 2013, Dunkin' Donuts does a Vine as an advertisement on television.
Oh.
Oh.
They do a Vine
Oh, that's
of it,
cool.
and then that boom. Here's your content, NBC. Put this
Who
on
was in
between whatever shows were on at that time.
That's a smart marketing
Bowl.
tactic.
Super Bowl spot. Do we know who was in that one?
No
Or
idea.
if it was just like.
Just
okay,
like
I'm choosing to
a
believe it
coffee
was Ben
that like
Affleck.
whoop, and that's it. Has a little
that
cape on
Distressed donut from earlier.
it, following behind it.
Yeah.
A&W Restaurants launched its mini polar swirls on Vine in April of
definitely-
2014.
Still going?
That was
Are
the
they still
first
going?
product launched on Vine.
Oh,
Wild, right?
Cool.
that is wild.
Do you guys know what A&W stands for?
Awesome whoop beer.
Close. It's Ambigos and Whoop Beer.
What was that? Is that real? That's not real.
Ambigos and Whoop Beer? No, it's not real. Of course it's not real.
I love that.
So much of it was. I would just buy all t-shirts. I would only stand for them. I would just constantly. I do wear product placement all the time. So I like have a Waffle House hoodie and things like that, I would just get hamburgers and boot beer.
A&W, famously the first all baby run hamburger and soda restaurant.
Well, the babies are okay, so
It's true. They have their cry and they're good. Then they bring out some cream soda.
Yeah, and if you were a baby and you were like, what would I like right now? I like ice cream and soda, please. Thank you. Combine,
Yeah.
put them together.
Yep.
Put them
Do it.
together.
Put the ice cream in the root beer.
Yeah.
Don't argue with
Thank
me.
you.
Genius. Genius.
Just got a little lab coat on,
Green
like,
light.
just do it. But sir, the lab,
Oh.
do it. In 2013, a Vine featured a group of women twerking to the song
Oh.
Don't Drop That Dun Dun. That became
Oh.
extremely popular and spawned a bunch of
Nice.
response videos that led that song to peak at 35 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Great. Wonderful. Love that.
Who was it by?
Don't drop that down.
I've never heard this song before.
It
Wait,
is
is
by
it
the
Drop That Dun
band
Dun or Don't Drop That Dun Dun?
Fanatics. Fanatics. Fanatticz.
Whoa.
Fanatics.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-mm.
35 on the Billboard
Wow,
chart.
yeah. That's
Five
Congrats.
with a bullet.
So was that the invention of twerking?
Oh,
Or was that
There's no way.
not the invention, but that's got to be the
it was
cultural,
probably
like,
a
realm where
popularization.
yeah. It was
where
probably
you
a
spread it out
modern.
to everybody.
Oh, was that patient zero?
Yeah, that's it.
of
Thank you.
twerking? Yeah.
I mean, the response video thing would make you think like yes, because we
Yeah.
talked about Harlem Shake, right? Another thing that was response videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was just YouTube, huh?
Mm.
I
I think
it
so.
was
It must have
yeah.
been.
I suppose it was just YouTube. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe there were Vines, but there's not enough time
There
on
probably
that.
were,
There's not enough
but-
time to do much with it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it'd be very
Mm.
They had a Vine exhibit titled #SVAES, shortest video art ever sold,
Okay,
at the
thank you for
Moving
saying.
Art Fair, Moving Image Art Fair in New York
Oh.
City, and the videos were sold on thumb drives for $200 each.
Oh.
Angela
Wait.
Washko's Tits on IKEA was sold to a Dutch art advisor named Miriam Vaneschi during the event, making it the first ever sale of a Vine as art.
Huh. Well, okay.
Like an
So,
NFT.
so many questions. Where do I start? Good cue. I mean, one of my questions did essentially boil down to, is that an NFT? Because did they take their videos off of Vine? Did they like delete them off
Even
of
if-
Vine
No, I
in
think
order to
it
sell
just
them?
says
But
it says copies of the video were sold, so that implies to
Weird.
me that it remains on Vine, but you got a thumb drive version of it.
But then, do you get they're just video files on a thumb drive? You don't get the loop?
That I don't know. I don't
Can you
have
import
enough
them
here.
in
Can
the
you
Vine
create-
app? And
The best thing I can say is that given that Vine's archive no longer exists, they are actually artifacts of something that might be completely gone now. Although
good
it's
point.
probably
Yeah,
still on.
now,
It's probably
maybe.
still on YouTube. Like Tits on
Mhm.
IKEA is probably on YouTube. I should have looked it
Oh.
up. I did not.
any of the big ones are going to be discoverable. Is there a Vine that you would purchase as art?
Yeah.
Which one?
Roadwork ahead.
That's was screaming through my head. I sure hope it does.
There is
Drew
one I would
Gooden,
buy as
sell
art,
your
but I don't want to
vines.
say it because it's also an I See What You Did There.
Okay.
And if
Oh,
I
okay.
give
Whenever
up
we say
the name of it, then it'll be then it's all over.
is it two guys in a hot tub?
It involves a parade. That's all I will tell
Okay.
Okay.
you.
Okay.
You'll-
Are there
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna get to I See What You Did There, and then you'll find out. I promise.
Oh god, I'm so excited for
We're
this
only
one.
2.5
I was
hours away
scared,
from
but now
that
I'm
segment in
excited.
the show, so don't worry. It's fine.
Okay.
Everybody
Well, we
buckle up.
launched into capitalism after. Wait, we've gone on to first that happened on the platform, but the first Vine, we didn't talk about the steak tartare. I wanted to talk
We
about
didn't
capitalism
yet.
for at least half an hour, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid we're going to gloss over it, and sometimes I forget to bring it up later.
Oh, we'll be
Yeah,
back.
you've got capitalism. I've got social
Ooh,
We're
commentary.
looping
yay.
back to that.
Yeah.
I have a couple more things.
Okay,
And
good.
then
Okay.
we'll talk about the actual first Vine, listeners. I mean,
Oh, did I ruin that?
do you like
Apologies.
do you like piles of raw meat? Because guess
No,
what?
Oh.
I got a Vine for
absolutely not.
you.
No, thank you.
Don't worry, there's
Oh.
raw egg in
With
it
raw
too. So
egg?
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. I
Oh.
didn't know what steak tartare was. I am uncultured, or I'm cultured in a way that is not disappointing.
Here's a wild
Differently
spoiler
cultured.
that you may or may not believe.
You've had steak
I've
tartare?
eaten
Ugh.
steak tartare before. I ate it in Paris, France, in the year 2001.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up. I'll see
Oh,
you
big
later.
Big year, yeah. It was really good.
Wait, what
Oh,
month?
okay.
It was what was it? July? Yeah, it was July.
When did Tenacious D? Oh no,
Oh.
that came out shortly after. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, were
Tenacious
you
D
listening
came
to
out a little
Tenacious
bit
D on
after
the
my
trip?
birthday,
Notably.
which is the only other important
Yep.
thing that happened in that year.
Yep,
I
that's
had
it.
steak tartare in July. Tenacious D came out shortly after my
Tenacious D
birthday.
came out.
That's it. That's all that happened in 2001.
Wait, how was it?
Oh no, it was great. It was really
He said
good.
it was good.
Yeah, it's
Really?
tasty. Yeah, I mean it's
Would you have it again if somebody put it in front of you? Well, that was a silly
I would
question.
no, I
think you
totally
would.
I was talking with my wife about it because we discussed this
Nate, you're
video.
married?
Shit, I broke character. Okay.
She know about the teeth thing?
Right. Also,
Sorry. I'm sorry.
also keep that a secret. No. But yeah, I was talking to her about it and just like yeah, like I would totally have it again. She is not at all interested. So the
I'm on her
difficulty
team.
is
Mhm.
it's expensive because it's like it
You have
requires
to get like really high
thoughtful
quality.
preparation. It's got to be
Yeah.
super high quality ground beef. Everything's got to be super regulated. And then you're throwing all these pieces together. It also is just a massive like mound. And I have
Yeah.
not eaten the entire mound myself. That seems like a death sentence.
You have to share it. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
you'd get,
it's like a
blood
good
share
poisoning.
table appetizer situation. So unless I had
Good.
other people who wanted to do it, I'm not. I don't think it's gonna happen unless somewhere has like a very small portion thing that they do. Then I try to.
Yeah, like those restaurants that do
Just like the
caviar
bites?
bumps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So how do you eat steak tartare? Sorry for the
Oh,
listeners
yeah, is it like
who
caviar with the
haven't
pearl
seen the
thing?
first
No, yeah.
Vine.
So you can get like
Scoops, Tostitos
little
scoops,
bread,
or
little like crostini kind of bread, or just straight up with like a fork. It sort of
What'd you
depends on the
do?
presentation.
Did you eat
As
it
I
with a
remember in
fork?
France, it was just like you had like a little appetizer fork, like a short fork, and that was it. You just like scoop, womp, eat it.
I feel like this is like my nightmare. I like
yeah, I'm not having a good time.
I have
And
problems with
the
my
raw
eggs are a
egg,
little
too.
undercooked.
Huh.
And that's just
Yeah.
egg goo and meat. And I'm like, I had a burger that was like mostly pink the other day, and I was like, I cannot eat this. This is making me very
No.
upset.
What was
I
the
can do
texture
steak,
like? Is it
but-
like
Yeah, is it mush?
what's the texture like?
It's like you would imagine
Oatmeal?
ground beef being. So it's
Ooh.
like it's cool
Oh,
and it's soft and it's kind of
Oh.
got like the greasy texture that raw meat has.
I don't think
I mean,
eaten-
it's not a surprising experience. It's not as if it becomes fundamentally changed through alchemical magic. It's just
Dang.
it's
I
just a
guess I
pile of
thought it
ground beef
might
with
have
egg in it.
I guess I thought it might have changed because people like it.
Do people like it, or
Okay.
do they like the idea of it? Because wasn't lobster a poor person food until
Yeah, I kind of feel like steak
Something.
tartare has to be like a flex food. Like we've
Yeah.
got so much
Yeah.
other stuff that we don't even bother cooking that. Just bring it out. They're just like
Mhm.
Yeah.
fuck it. Like
Mhm.
Well, that does go back to the careful preparation,
Yeah.
right? That could be a flex. Like our refrigerators are so good, and or we have a butcher on site,
yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have the meat grinder on site. Like that's all stuff.
Do they test it for
And
parasites?
you probably you couldn't use the like gristly parts of an animal.
Yeah, so it'd have
It's
to be the
gotta
good parts.
Oh
good
yeah, no, it's
parts.
gotta be real good.
Yeah. Gross.
Also involved, there's onions and capers and mushrooms.
Oh,
And
those are 3 things I
Worcestershire
really
sauce.
love.
out.
Worcestershire sauce.
Wor-
I like all
Worcester?
of that, but I would
Worcestershire?
like it replaced with not meat or egg. Can we
Just-
put anything else?
So you just want Chex Mix? Give me all of
With
the
Worcestershire
spices.
sauce, capers,
Well, I guess
mushrooms,
capers
and
aren't in
onions.
Chex
I will
Mix, but
eat it.
yeah.
Did you say onions? You said onions, or did
Yeah,
I
yeah.
add that in my brain?
Onions,
Okay, good.
capers, mushrooms,
Like
pepper,
I would have.
Worcestershire sauce,
I'd eat
raw
that.
egg yolk.
No, I would not. Oh, yolk. I thought it was the white part of the egg. It's just the yolk.
It's just the yolk.
But the yolk is where the salmonella lives.
What?
I mean,
I
that's
thought it was the white part. Oh, I'm learning so much today.
It's possible I'm wrong.
the yolk is the part that
The
turns
yellow.
into a chicken, right? The
Yeah.
white is the food that the chicken baby
Eats.
eats on its way to turning into a
Oh my
chicken.
God. Thank you guys for teaching me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Important to know there's a health concerns thing on the page for steak tartare that talks about how,
Did you have to sign anything
Not a
before
good
eating
idea.
it?
No, it was just
It was
yeah.
France.
I mean, because it's a French dish. It's like just a thing that you do. You can just do that there. So part of the history of this is caricatures of Turkic warriors called Tartars or Tatars
Oh.
have them tenderizing meat under their saddles and then eating it raw. So it's
Oh.
possibly, and I'm just learning
Weird.
this now. It's possibly kind of a racist, xenophobic
Oh.
flex food of
Oh,
like, haha,
oh.
the same way that the French were known to eat croissants when they defeated Islamic armies because it was like we're eating the moon from your flag.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. History. It's full of shit.
Man.
Wow. Oh.
God, so
Ugh.
much stuff has happened.
I'm going to need to read up on that. As we know here, not good at history.
That story
We're on-
about the saddle thing was popularized by a French chronicler named Jean de Joinville in the 13th century,
Oh, okay.
basically to show they were
Jean de-
uncivilized. But there is theory that the story was a confusion about using thin slices of meat to protect saddle sores from further rubbing. So if your
Oh,
horse is
interesting.
actually in
That's-
pain, you just put some meat under there so that you're lubing the saddle with some meat.
Oh,
that
okay.
that seems the more likely
Seems better.
tale.
Seems better. 19th century
But warmth.
in New
Sorry,
York,
go on.
people start getting into the Hamburg steak, which was a beef fillet, hand minced, lightly salted, and smoked, but served raw with onions and breadcrumbs. And that was great because very easy to make, very cheap.
Yeah. That sounds a little bit like meatloaf.
Yeah,
if we're
it's
being totally honest.
basically raw meatloaf. Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little steak tartare. This vine literally just shows. So the vine features. It's posted by Dom Hoffman, a co-founder of Vine. It is shared by Dick Costolo, who was then CEO of Twitter. This video features a restaurant at oh man, I'm so terrible at pronouncing this.
You got this.
Halles. I can't remember how you say this place in
The
Paris.
Huelas.
That's right.
But
Carrie
it's a place.
L. Lewis.
The restaurant is named after a place that's in Paris that is, but the restaurant itself is in New York City. The tweet says, "After a week of salad, I'm craving steak tartare at 11 in the morning." And the video is 6 seconds of a man preparing steak tartare, popping that meat in, dropping the egg in, whisking the motherfucker, shaping it, putting on a plate, boom.
And I gotta be totally honest, that's the first Vine I've seen where I was like, this is too long. I'm bored.
We've disproven the medium right here.
This is your shining, this is your proof of concept for Vine? Horrible. Red light.
Now, according to Time Magazine, the first ever actual Vine filmed 3 shots of a southbound M train inside the 23rd Street subway station in New York City. However, lost. Gone.
On a thumb drive.
It is
Oh.
someone's got it on thumb drive. It's worth billions
That's
of
an
dollars.
NFT.
And if you can find the clues embedded in this episode of Debut Buddies, you might be able to find it.
I would pay dozens of dollars to see
Full
this.
dozens. I'll add in a couple dozen as well.
Hell yeah.
I love dozens of dollars as a thing because it's literally it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be $12. It could be 12 to the 72nd dollars.
Could be,
it's-
but
it's
probably
not
not.
But if I'm feeling extra generous, might use a baker's dozen.
Oh.
Shazam!
So
So yeah, the first Vine that we were able to watch, this first Vine that was tweeted, not particularly exciting. To your point, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't tap into what Vine later becomes. It's sort of a
Right.
nothing burger, literally, because it's not a burger. It's a pile of raw
Yeah.
meat.
yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, do you think that was intentional? Maybe like we're cooking up something. It's not cooked yet though. It's not all the way cooked. No, you don't think so?
I guess.
I'm reaching.
I would like to see anyone in tech be like, we're putting thought into the joke involved in the thing.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
technically in
Well,
tech.
you are, but you're not. You didn't look. Make it. Let's build an app, okay?
No, I won't. You can't make me. I had exactly one app idea that I might have made, and then literally a month later, I learned about JustWatch.com. And was like,
yeah.
oh, thank God somebody else did it. Now I get to use it, and I don't have to write a single line of code.
Here's an idea, okay? You know how let me Google that for you? I think it still exists.
Oh, it does.
A charming idea.
Yeah.
What if?
Or a very passive aggressive
Oh,
idea,
super
which is how I use
passive
it.
aggressive. There's almost no application for it other than, what are you, stupid? Look it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's longhand for that because it is longer than just saying, what are you, stupid? What if, though, there was an app that said no? You don't want to say no to
go
people?
on, say
this
more.
app says no for you.
Oh.
And the reason I thought of that is you just said, no, you can't make me make an app. And I was like, you know
yeah.
what? We actually do need something, which is a functional app that says no. And maybe that app can say no individually. Maybe that app can say no with backing. Like a bunch of people can all say no.
Barbershop quartet? No.
Yeah. You could have a barbershop quartet. You could
Okay.
have an entire unionized workforce say no on an app to
Oh,
something. Like this
nice.
is
Nice.
an idea. Because the
Okay.
problem with like change.org and a lot of these petition websites is they're always about saying a lot of stuff and then getting
Yeah.
people to agree with
Yeah.
you. But one thing that everybody can get behind is no. And one thing that almost nobody is good at doing is saying no.
Saying no. You know, I think you're onto something. And that really follows the Vine ethos. Keep it short,
Yeah.
keep it sweet.
Can the
Or not sweet, I guess.
can the
if there's
first
no
one just be a little baby saying no?
no. Yeah.
I think
First
that's
word,
exactly how we keep it
no.
sweet. And I want to underline there's nothing that isn't sweet about setting a boundary.
Amen.
You're right. You're right.
There's anything that Debut Buddies is about other than tight editing,
boundaries.
thoughtful show scripting and production, and the utmost in preparation from all three hosts at all times. It
For
is
sure.
advocating for setting healthy boundaries by saying no.
We do
We
love
do
a boundary.
advocate for it. We do as we say, not as we do sometimes, I guess. Oh, is that just me? Okay, just me.
Oh no, it's all of us.
No,
it's absolutely all
not
of us.
me, because it hurt.
I am notoriously bad at saying no. That is part
Yeah.
of also the reason why it would be great to have that app exist, because if anything would allow me to just be like,
Wait,
click.
we need an app that's constantly listening. And if someone asks you a question, it just immediately makes a very, very loud noise until it hears you respond with "No, I can't do that." So instead, it's just like,
It's that,
"Hey, could you help me move my plants on Saturday?" And it's
It's that sound from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
It's just the tactic that the FBI tried to use on the Branch Davidians in Waco. You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
make
yeah.
a lot of noise until they give up, until they're like, no, okay, no. I didn't want to say it, but
Biodome.
yeah, no.
Didn't they play like the sounds of dying rabbits or something? They played something really heinous.
Yeah, they played some heinous
With the
stuff,
Branch
and then they also played pop music too. I'm trying to remember what song they played. Let me give that a look real quick.
I'm looking at the man
The
in
mirror?
the mirror.
Oh, no.
That would be funny because he was very popular, and I think at that point still not outed for his crimes against children.
Yeah, I think not outed yet. What about you gotta fight
For your
for your right? And they're like, yes, that's what we're saying. That's our point.
We want to party with our weird cult leader, Sex Dad, and something about America. Soundtrack to the Waco siege. I've got a list for you. The FBI pumped an eclectic playlist of tunes into the Branch Davidian compound. They did Tibetan chants. They played
Oh.
bugle calls.
Sounds soothing.
They played Christmas
that sounds
carols.
horrible.
Oh,
Which now keep in mind it was like summer, so way to piss people
I mean,
off,
that would-
right?
That would end
yeah,
me
immediately.
at Christmas.
They played Nancy Sinatra's "These Boots Are Made for Walking."
Oh, I love that. Well, I guess
That was for them.
Yeah.
They were like, we need something fun.
They played Barry Manilow songs,
Oh.
which, according to a federal
This is
official,
weird.
are considered excessive force.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say are considered bops. Oh,
Now this is from Entertainment Weekly, so I don't know how
Poor Barry
real or
Manilow.
cheeky this is.
Also, isn't Manilow, is this factual? Because isn't Manilow like known for sexy music, for horny music?
Kind of,
Barry White, maybe.
yeah, Barry White.
Yeah.
I mean, Barry
You're right.
Manilow's music is not unsexy, but I wouldn't describe Barry Manilow as like sexy.
I was thinking of White. I was thinking of the other Barry. That's my bad.
There's only so many Barrys.
He did
out there.
Copacabana.
Yeah, Copa. Copacabana.
Copacabana.
I see why they would use that as a tactic then.
Well,
yeah,
the first like 2 times, you'd be like,
Yeah, you'd be having a good time.
Then after that, yeah.
We jump back to 1989 when U.S. soldiers were trying to drive Manuel Noriega out of the papal nunciature in Panama City. They played Styx, Judas
Oh.
Priest,
Oh,
Black Sabbath.
these are
I'm
bombs.
gonna try to
And-
see Sticks in a month.
Great. They closed out the list with a song that will drive me to leave most places. Lee Greenwood's "God Bless the USA."
I don't know this
Oh,
one.
yeah, every 4th of July it happens. It's the "And I'll gladly stand up
Oh,
next to you."
next
Yeah, that
to
song.
you.
Defend
Yeah,
her still
yeah.
today. I was singing that in my car like 2 days ago, and I am shocked that we brought it up here. Synchronicity.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, I have a very complicated relationship with that song, in part because one, the country's fucked up, and so every time it's
Yeah.
like I want to go
Yeah.
to a 4th of July baseball game to see fireworks for the fun of seeing fireworks, but not for all the jingoism. And then that song
Patriotism.
always has to play. And every time that
Yeah.
I would go to like Coors Field in Denver, or any time I've gone here, they will always be playing like good Bruce Springsteen. They'll be playing "Born in the
Aw.
USA," a song that is not a jingoistic patriotism song, but a song about how we abandoned Vietnam veterans
Whoa.
and people in an entire generation because capitalism.
Yeah.
Chelsea, we're getting there. We're getting there, Chelsea. Get ready.
Yay!
Foreshadowing.
But so Lee Greenwood always cuts off good songs that should be played in their entirety. Nope, we're gonna pull. But also, in elementary school choir, we had to sing that song, and getting
same.
that pause, the "gladly stand up."
Up.
There's like a
There's a pause. There's
like
a rest.
a rest and a half there. We could not get it right.
Oh,
And did that fucking
Huh.
song. We practiced that song for like 3 consecutive weeks or something to
Damn.
get that rest. So, and I feel conflicted about having spent some of my
That's fair.
some of my now long gone youth. I am, as previously
Yeah.
stated, I'm extremely old. I could have used that 3 weeks. It's gone to me now.
It's gone.
And replaced with this bitter memory of having used it on that.
yeah.
Nate, does this still serve you? Can you let this go?
Ooh,
Can you Marie Kondo
Okay,
this feeling?
you're right. You're right. Let's
let's let it go.
We're gonna
Instead,
frozen that right
replace
on
it
out.
with "This land is your land. This land is my
There you
land."
go. Yes.
Beautiful song.
This memory kills fascists.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they did then. The Vatican complained. The Vatican complained about this music because Noriega was in a Catholic structure, well
Okay.
held up in Panama City. The Vatican was like, "Hey, come on, don't,
Did
don't."
they play
If you play those songs backwards, they say
Panama?
Hail
They
Satan.
should have, right?
Just play that song over and over again.
Uh,
That
would've
would
been
drive me
enough.
to leave.
Three rounds, 3 vines.
Oh.
And I'd be like, nope.
but yeah, just silly. Using music for evil / something. I don't know.
That's how you get me to love Nickelback, is you just play it a lot outside my house. And I'm like, okay, love it now. 10 out of 10.
Like, you know what?
I've accepted
I
Nickelback
have
into my heart.
been to the bottom of every bottle, and I haven't found anything.
True.
I did look at your picture today. That was them,
Yeah.
right? With Cheryl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Look at this photograph. It doesn't make you laugh.
Was he a skater boy?
No,
I
that's-
believe he may have
He
been.
was her husband for a little bit,
That's what I was asking.
but
yeah.
not now. She's dating
Not
somebody who's
now.
friends with Machine Gun Kelly, I think. Who is it? What? She has had a weird dating history, and has it always been her? Have we talked about this conspiracy theory that she has been switched
I
out?
don't know,
Oh God.
but I don't know.
Another
Sorry for the
episode.
listeners. This is another thing that you'll have to mail us $1,000, and then you can hear all about our Avril Lavigne conspiracy. Which,
So
now that I'm
many.
saying out loud, yes, we did talk about on our conspiracy theory episode.
But if you want to talk about it more,
We'll talk about it again.
$1,000.
We'll talk about it
we only
again. I bet
touched
there are
on it.
updates.
We only touched on it.
Email us debutbuddies@gmail.com. We'll give you the details for the bank transfer, and then we'll provide you the details.
We'll show you the board of
The murder
the
board.
murder board.
The conspiracy board.
So yeah, Vines. That's kind of, I don't know. We're all over the place, but we talked about it. Steak tartare. That was the first Vine. We talked about what Vine was. We've shared a little bit about how Vine impacted our lives, and I think it's obvious that it has had resonant influence on the rest of social media and the way that we consume things, in that you almost can't spend more than 6 seconds on anything anymore without it being either called a feature film or a limited series. And otherwise, it's just that this is what content is.
Well, and even like old YouTube video, the old style of YouTube that I grew up watching is de-incentivized anymore. Like everybody is pushing short form content. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it's all short form content anymore. I mean, it isn't all short form content. The long stuff is still out there, but it is harder to find. Like it, or what am I trying to say? It doesn't get surfaced. Your algorithm doesn't
I
promote
think that's
Yeah.
a lot of it, right? Because the algorithm feeds off of stuff that you consume in its entirety, or at least to a point, right?
That's part of it
So
too. Yeah.
if you watch a bunch of short stuff, it knows to feed you a lot of different
Short
things.
stuff.
And if you watch one like 2 hour long video where somebody explains the history of the Seattle Mariners, for instance, I'll just go ahead and throw my algorithm on blast. You don't get a lot more of that stuff because it's like, I don't know what to do with this. You sat for
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
hours and you watched one thing. This tells me nothing about you.
I know.
I only know that you're patient and might like baseball, or you fell asleep. We can't divine
Yeah.
anything.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Yeah. Well, YouTube knows that I'm not asleep because I fucking hate autoplay on anything. Anything that's autoplaying, I have it shut off. So I am constantly engaged with YouTube when I'm watching it. But yeah, I only watch long form on YouTube, but the things that they like push on me on my homepage are shorts. And I'm like,
Wow.
I've never clicked on one. I've literally never clicked on one. If you would stop showing it to me, I would pay a couple bucks more a month for you to stop trying to make me watch
You
this.
hear that, YouTube? You want
I only want the long ones.
Only capitalism speaks, is that?
Yeah.
$2 more. Just leave me alone.
$2 more.
Wait, okay. So that is the thing that YouTube's doing now, though. Their ads have gotten absurd. Has anybody noticed that in the last couple weeks?
Or where you get like
No,
7
I
in a row and
pay
it's like
for it.
19 minutes of ads.
Yeah, or they have to be 2 minutes long. Like they have extended the time of ads to an absurd amount, and it's to
Oh.
creators that historically have not added ads themselves because they have the brand
I
deal, so they don't
remember-
put ads in their stuff. But now they're just shoehorning them in everywhere, and you have no choice.
I think that had something to do. Something did change recently
Yeah, I don't
with
love it.
YouTube, and it had to do with. Gosh, I should not try to talk about this because I do not remember it. But it was like suddenly some new number was being shared out to stakeholders, like the ad companies,
gotcha.
and they were like, "Oh, well, looking at this, we're not getting the benefit that we thought that we were paying for." But that wasn't the case. Like, there was some weird caveat that was like, it doesn't actually change the value in any meaningful way, but the new terms of ads were more strict and more like, you can't do a pre-roll or an end roll. It has to be a mid-roll ad, and it
Yep.
has to be long. Like, we need to see that people are seeing it all the way through. So
Do you
yeah,
remember
it's got to
when
be
we
related to
didn't have
this.
ads?
Yeah, I
Remember?
do.
Those
It
were
was
good.
beautiful.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was the promise
Yeah.
of the internet, was that it was supposed to be like a free and open space for exchanging information without all the
Yeah.
bullshit. But
Did Vine
you know,
ever have ads aside from Dunkin' Donuts and
No,
Amber's and Root Beer?
Hamburgers and root beer. I don't remember there being any like
Overt
in the
ones,
feed.
yeah. Because
Um,
TikTok now is
which was
we got a thumb up in the Zoom
Sorry.
because Kelly raised her thumb, and so the little thought bubble
that's
came
not
up.
how I
count. She was
feel.
counting.
That is not how I feel.
That was good.
I don't know.
love
Does
that.
it do down?
Beautiful.
Does it do
It doesn't
down?
do down.
Not allowed to do a thumbs
like
down?
this. Or do a peace
Zoom is a
sign.
yes and chat app.
What if it was an angry face that appeared in the corner and just got big?
Yeah.
But it like blurs my fingers.
I like the
God
idea.
damn it! I forgot what I was saying. I had a point.
I like the idea of people sitting in a boardroom being like, users aren't annoyed enough, and we really feel like if we
We need to
annoy them
alienate
more,
them.
they're gonna go ahead and want to buy our stuff. When
Yeah.
anybody has to be aware of the fact that, like, if you advertise on anything, like, people recognize that right away. Like, we have the ability to put blinders on or fast forward or ignore. And occasionally, yeah, an ad creeps in. Like, I know about the Septa-Key Advantage plan that would allow me to take the train from here to Philadelphia if my
Oh.
employer would provide that pass. And it sounds really cool because
That
that got
sounds
played
really cool.
so many times. But it's also a sort of thing where I'm like, the guy's got a soothing voice. It's a short ad. It says everything I need to know. It doesn't try to be funny. All these other ads that are doing all these bells and whistles and shit, I tune that right out.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
One of my biggest beefs
The,
with the ESPN app, because I like making
But all
sports.
ads. I mean,
is if you want to watch a
you
video,
do you, man.
let's
You do
let's
you.
say I want to
Yeah.
watch a video of a highlight of Jamal Murray hitting an important shot in a Nuggets game.
Great.
That video
Yeah. Oh,
is
love the name
22
Nuggets.
seconds long. There is a minute and a half of ads
Yeah.
to watch that 22 seconds. And then
It's
guess
a
what
nightmare.
happens before the next video loads? Another
Another
minute and a
ad.
half of ads. And it's just like, fuck
The
you. Like,
amount of times that I'll watch an ad at the beginning of a video and then I will like pause and I'm like, okay, I got past the ad. I'm going to pause and then I'm going to go get my food and then I'm going to sit back down. And the moment I hit play, it
Yeah.
plays another fucking ad. And I'm like, I
Yep.
want to burn everything down. I feel like all of these ads are making everybody just a little bit angrier.
Here's
Just a
the
little
thing.
bit angrier. Can we check the
Mhm.
correlation between like wrecks and murders and see if they correlate to people watching ads? Because I feel like it has to. It has to.
Dude.
I
And I'm
know
not
that
saying people
we-
are watching ads while they're driving, but I've seen a lot of people on their phones while they're driving. I watched a
Oh, yeah.
girl watching.
I hear them on
YouTubes.
podcasts
And you're just like, I'm gonna.
while I'm
Yeah, yeah.
driving, and I like try to hit the 15-second forward button, and yeah, I'm gonna get in a wreck because of that.
Here's the thing. We call them ads, but I think we should call them subtracts because they're taking away from our lives.
Whoa, whoa!
Mhm,
You know what's gonna suck when we start having ads on the podcast.
And
I
this
mean-
episode exists.
But if we have ads on this podcast, it means we cared about the product.
Yeah,
Sure.
I won't advertise something I don't care
Exactly.
about.
No, I think that
And
we
I
would
will
be
try
willing
some
to
weird
endorse something we care
products.
about. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'll try it.
Plus, I would hope
Not
that
steak tartare.
we could
No,
do
not
ads
steak
where we do
tartare.
the reads ourselves. I think that
Yeah.
it's way easier to listen to an ad on a podcast when the people who are doing the podcast do it, rather than it doing the thing that it does on every other medium, which is the volume suddenly goes up 40%.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Especially as someone who falls asleep to podcasts at night, the last thing I need is like, I'm finally falling asleep and then someone's like, you need to try a bagel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not time for that. I'll have it tomorrow, but leave me alone.
Remind me in 8 hours.
Yes, exactly.
If you had said it softly, it would have gone into my dream.
It's
And I would have
true.
woken
Yeah.
up being like, I want a bagel.
I would have
So
woken
bad.
up.
You could have
I would have been
inceptioned
like,
So
me,
bad.
and
I wish I had a
instead-
bagel. I would have looked around. My pillow would be missing. I'd go, oh no, the dream bagel was my pillow.
Happens to the best of us.
And that's why nobody remembers the brand deals on Vine, because they were only 6 seconds. You could scroll to the next one. Didn't have to repeat unless you wanted to, and you wanted to sit through the loop.
It's true. It's true.
There's one big thing, and this isn't really our story to tell, but I do want to just make sure that we comment on it. A big part of what made Vine successful was Black comedians.
Oh.
And this was like one of the only spaces where they were able to find success. Like by the time Vine was coming out, YouTube was already pretty, it was hard to break out on YouTube by 2013. And so Vine was a place for a lot of people to find a little sliver of success and a foothold into, entertainment. And a lot of the people who made Vine so successful were Black creators. And it sucks that like that labor led to the success of Vine, and they largely reaped no benefits, which we see a lot in social media, like Twitter too. So I don't know. That sucks, but I didn't want to do an episode on Vine without commenting on it.
No, I think that's important because what Peaches Monroe, who did the eyebrows on fleek,
Eyebrows on fleek.
huge deal. That became popular parlance for like 3 years.
And companies stole it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, not just amongst people, that was in like advertising, and she wasn't getting royalties on that,
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, look, capitalism. Should we go into capitalism for a minute?
Capitalism.
I mean, we can.
Capitalism
We live
segment.
there, unfortunately.
It's yeah. I mean, it's all around us all the time. It
Yeah.
is actively draining us of our essence.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, Kelly, I mean, there's a huge issue with all of social media, with all of the internet, with all of kind of contemporary white culture and the way that we steal from people of color, whether it's, 80s hip hop all the way up through Me Too and all of these things, right? Like, it's just this constant cascade of somebody creating a groundswell within a culture of Black creators or Black internet users, and then it's like, oh, we also agree with this, and now we're co-opting it, and now we're going to use it, right? I mean, wokeness as a concept is the most prominent thing that went from just an actual conversation by people of color to people in sort of left-leaning liberal communities of white people taking it, and then now the hard right assholes
It's a
now
joke.
took it, and and they've made it into a clown show so that they can point at anything that they don't like. Capitalism is a dystopia, and that is what we
It
live in.
all sucks.
Yeah. We just eat our steak
Ooh.
tartare and
It's true.
yeah, and a lot of people have to make money now through digital creation, as we are attempting to do here.
Sure, yeah, that's right.
So it is, everything we do in life has to be monetized and cannot just be in general enjoyed.
Which I think is part of why Vine failed ultimately. I don't want to say failed. Why Vine ended.
Right. No
It
one, no one
was
found
hard
a
to
way to
monetize.
monetize it as easily as they could.
But can we talk about the
Yeah.
beautiful utopia? I know we talk about capitalism being dystopia, but a beautiful utopia where people's needs are met and then they can create content because they want to.
God.
And all of these vines can
God.
exist just because people have time and want to make these jokes. Because people
Well, you don't need a lot of time,
constantly
in
want to
fairness,
make
to make a
jokes.
vine.
You don't need
Yeah.
a lot of time.
Yes.
That's correct. You can do them quick. But that's a
No, we love
yeah.
jokes.
But if if
Ugh.
everyone's needs were met and we just were able to survive without being in a state of constantly worried if we have health insurance or if we have XYZ, we have a roof over our
The
head.
hustle, the
Yeah,
grind.
if we could just have some time to exist and create things. We are a society that wants to create all the time. And like
Mhm.
we want to put stuff out there, but we don't have the time or energy because it's so focused on just keeping us alive.
Surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And enriching our betters, air quotes.
Mm.
They're not actually
Yeah.
better than us, but that's where they hold themselves. This is
In the pyramid.
this is another important point too. Everybody in capitalism talks about the importance of innovation and how capitalism allows for innovation to happen. Other economies stagnate and people don't innovate anything. And
But really, it's just exploitation. It's not innovation. They mean to
no.
say exploitation.
right.
Yeah.
Because innovation would be what we're describing, which is
For sure.
if you give everybody the opportunity to create stuff, guess what? People will come up with really amazing things. Instead,
Yep.
they have to use 7 different apps to drive 3 people to the airport, deliver 6 pizzas, and then make it to a job that they hate. And they have to do all of these things just to pay the
Yeah.
rent and keep themselves alive. And you're going to accuse them of being lazy because they're not rich, rather than just being like, no, this person's being crushed and they aren't innovating because they're stuck.
Because how could
Because
they? Because how
we
could
want to
they?
use AI to take away those things that are creative and make us feel fulfilled instead of using them to be the ones to deliver the food. Like
Right.
it is so absurd. And the amount of songs we will never hear because everybody's wrapped up in things, the amount of paintings we
Yeah.
will never see, the amount of videos we will never get to experience, and the amount of inspiration we will never get to feel because of this crushing weight on everyone is just Vine was great.
Well, and creativity isn't limited to just the arts
Yeah.
either. Like maybe if we had more energy, we
Health,
could fucking
science.
cure cancer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
seriously.
Like
Yeah, that's always the thing is
maybe we could figure out teleportation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
this is kind of the bitter because the anti-abortion camp will frequently use the argument a child who's aborted could have been the one who cured cancer. And it's like, okay, by
There are
that
plenty of people
logic,
who could have
then
not.
everybody should have an opportunity to
Yeah.
fucking try instead of being stuck working at McDonald's or Best Buy or whatever, or being stuck barely scraping by. Like if you want
Right.
these things to happen and you believe that there's this infinite human potential, then unlock it. Stop strapping people to the earth and whipping them to death and instead give them the opportunity to live.
And create and understand and learn. But that's just not a space that we live in. It's just produce and exploit.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Oh, I'm so glad we got to do this.
Yeah,
great.
it's
It's
good to
great.
get it out of our system before we try to do the outro. Like the mood will turn back up.
I mean,
That's
we're
true.
about
We're
to
coming
do
back.
our GARF report and our seeing what we did there. So that's always the up. So we
Yeah,
had to take it
that's
down
gonna be
and
up.
we'll have to take it up again.
That's right. We're making a playlist now. We're
Yeah.
creating. There's a dip.
Yeah,
There's-
yeah.
We hit the slow
Yeah.
dance.
This is like the
love this.
Vine loop. It's so important to circle back around.
Are we ready for the mouth garf report?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's time for the mouth garf report.
Oh my God.
The Mouth Guff Report. Open wide for some lasagna. I hate Mondays.
Yeah. And the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes wild.
Okay, so I have a couple things.
Yeah.
Thing one is I've been searching for my garf, still looking for my garf. I keep getting taunted by these
Soul garf.
ads for fitted hats with garf on them.
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
wondering.
Got it.
I'm wondering if that's the thing, but I don't think so. I don't think that's the right one. I think I've
If
mentioned
you don't
that
feel it, don't do
before.
it, man.
It's
Yeah, you'll know. You'll
A
know in your
lot of the
heart.
thing is they
You'll
don't
feel
have
it.
my hat size. They have one size bigger.
Okay.
So if I
That's
go
not
for
right.
it, there's a good chance it's not going to fit right. And then
Don't do
that's
it.
not,
Yeah,
that just
don't
isn't
do
good.
it.
So I'm still on the watch for a Garf. Keep seeing all these interesting Garf related ads, of course, because Garf is all over my feed all the time.
Yeah, makes sense.
So something
I
will
do
come.
love how heavy your algorithm is very
Yeah.
Garf
My
focused.
algorithm is like Garf and Simpsons, and that's kind of it.
Beautiful.
Which
Like those two things
they
getting
nailed it.
memed and shit posted, and then also authentically loved all at the same time. There's just
Aw.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
beautiful mix of hey, what can we do with these
Yeah.
creations
What
with
can't we
these
do with them?
lovely little babies.
Oh.
The babies are okay.
The babies. So that's the Garf part. The other recommendations that I have, I want to talk about, and I know I talked about one of these things before we started recording, but I have two fall related media things to discuss. One of them is The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It's great. It's a delightful film. It's a lot of fun. Stunt work.
Aw.
It's really cool. It reminded me that when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old, I wanted to be a stuntman. That was the thing I wanted to do.
Aw.
And my friend and I used to
It's not too
like
late.
stage fight, and then we got used to like throwing each other around. So like I can remember being in my living room and figuring out how to like throw myself backwards so that it looked like I got kind of punched and then land and do like the ground slap so you don't actually like crash too hard.
Nate, you're a professional
Right?
wrestler.
It's kind of
So
fun.
impressive.
So after seeing the movie, I told my wife, and yes, I am married. I know I didn't maybe say it enough on the
God.
show, but it's true.
Sorry to the listeners.
Um, the we came out of the movie, and I was like, "Would you be mad if I tried to get a job in stunt work? Like, not necessarily at 42 to be a stuntman. I don't know if like that's a
Okay.
good idea." I did.
Okay.
I did
I mean,
hilariously
just take
injure
some
myself
glucosamine.
returning a grocery cart 3 weeks ago.
Okay, unpack
Okay.
that. What
Yeah,
happened there?
please.
Okay, well, one, technically not a grocery cart. It was at a Lowe's, so it was a
Okay.
it was a hardware
One of those
store
larger
cart.
things.
But
yeah. Mhm.
Those are hard to
I went to
move.
push the
Mhm.
cart into the stack of carts. Like the guys had brought out they had the whole rack of them ready to push in. So I like went to put mine
Yeah.
in, and I slid it into the end, but it didn't go in all the way. It was like sticking
Yeah.
out an extra. It seemed like it was sticking out like 8 inches more than it was supposed to. So I just kind of like
Okay.
heaved my weight into it to push it in further. And instead of
Mhm.
it moving, I like crunched my right side so that I actually have had
no.
like
No.
a like bruised rib scenario for a couple weeks.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my
It's all
God.
better now,
Oh,
but it was
no.
Good.
extremely silly that happened, and it definitely set me on a little bit of a spiral about like, oh God, what's gonna happen to me if this is a thing that starts happening
Mm.
now. I can't.
Were you
Yeah,
alone?
I was.
So, like, was anybody did anybody witness this?
I mean, maybe the two like late teens or early 20s guys who were getting the
Oh,
carts
no.
ready, but they were
Oh, I bet they see that.
All the
yeah,
time.
they were
First
shooting the
day.
shit, and I like did that, and I just kind of like winced and then didn't do anything and just walked back to my car with my tail between my legs.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fine. But so yeah, I probably shouldn't be an actual stuntman. The production
But could you
side,
learn?
the idea of like watching this, because the cool thing about this movie is there is a lot of stunt coordination, and you get to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and you get a sense of like this is a team of people who all like cool shit, right? In the same way that like
Aw.
doing stop motion animation would be fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
meticulous. It's probably like repetitive and boring at times, I guess, in a way. But if you really love what you're doing, it could be a stupendous job to have. Like, oh, we got to set up
Yeah.
these
For
things.
sure.
Oh, we got to make sure the pressure on the car flipping pad is correct, so that when he hits the button, it flips the appropriate number of times. Whatever. It's just cool. And the movie is just adorable. There was a dog that speaks French in the movie. That's great.
Oh, is that a stunt? Does that count as stunt
I
work?
think so.
Dangerous
I mean,
to
the
blow
dog
your
definitely
R's.
stunts on some hoes.
Oh.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just a sweet movie. So everybody should check it out because if anything, after everything we just talked about preceding the Mouthgarf report, you need these little bright spots of joy in life, and it's a
Truly.
good one. The other fall related content is the Fallout series that is on Amazon, and that just fucking rules. It was really good.
I haven't finished it. No
It
spoilies.
made me want to play the game again. Like I am in the middle of playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now, so I won't be pivoting to play another very
How are you
long
enjoying
game.
that?
I love it. It's so
Okay, I've
good.
only heard good things.
It's I really I after I finished playing Cyberpunk, which took me like almost a calendar year to finish with my limited amount of game time, I was very skeptical that I would be interested in playing another game that is supposed to be extremely long and complicated. I am so immersed in this game now that I dream about it,
Yay.
that
Aw.
I have the sort of I'm a kid again level of in the middle of the
Oh,
workday thinking like I wish I was playing that game
I
right
can't wait
now,
until I play the game.
which
Oh
Yeah.
my
No, yeah.
gosh.
it's just
That's
it's
the
so
best
fun. And all
feeling.
the like the choice structure and all the options, everything feels very consequential. Everything's very
Mm.
interesting. Like I no spoilers at all, but I found, you know, if you're just kind of a thoughtful role player, you
Hmm.
can go talk to, say, a random animal and clock that they're behaving a little strange, like that
Oh.
maybe they wouldn't make a
Whoa.
noise like the one they're making, and then you know immediately something could be wrong. And it's so cool when
Oh.
that inkling that you have as a person is rewarded when you recognize like, yes, I was absolutely spot on that was fucked up. And and you're
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
so it's great.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I was talking with a friend about it earlier today, and she said like, "Oh, just wait until you can go back through and you can do like there's some sort of like evil urge or something like that
Hmm.
kind of
Oh.
player character you can take where basically
Oh.
your character just wants to murder people all the time. They're
Oh, fun.
constantly it's constantly being suggested to you by like a third person in your mind that you
Like
should
maybe
just
you
kill.
should murder that badger.
And so and with that like play with that character type, you get like rewarded for doing it, for
Oh,
following that
weird.
evil urge. So it's just kind of cool because
Huh.
apparently like she was telling me that she managed to legit like destroy the entire world was how her playthrough ended was like she
Whoa.
killed everybody everywhere. Like the
Wow.
world burned as credits rolled on the game, which I'm just like that's astounding
Wow.
that that's even an option.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Holy
Good
cow.
Lord.
So it's just a great
Oh,
game.
fun.
But Fallout, the TV show, very good.
Yeah.
Also, really cool. I'm so excited that it looks like there will be a second season. It totally
I
has
think it'd be
capacity
hard
to
for
do
them to
that.
not justify a second. I haven't watched all of it, but like this has had the highest viewership of any video game adaptation on TV ever. And
It's
I
the
think it's
best
beat
done
Last of
thing I've
Us.
ever seen,
Yeah.
where it like gets the tone exactly. It's no 1993 Super Mario Brothers. Let's just put that right
No,
out on
yeah,
Front
nothing
No.
will
Street.
ever
Nothing is
be.
ever that.
Amen.
But this like
I'm
gets
glad
the
you
tone of
understand.
Fallout. It understands this is a video game that is both at times desperate and terrifying and
Mm,
post-apocalyptic, and at other times it's goofy, quirky weirdos who have funny
yeah.
ticks and do
Nice.
stupid shit. And sometimes it's look, you have to carry a head across the country.
Yeah.
Um,
I
because
really
it's
like all the
both
characters in it so far.
yeah, it's just really well done. Walton Goggins is in the show. Walton Goggins
Amazing.
is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Possibly our greatest living actor.
You
Outside of
guys
Val
knew
Kilmer.
Walton Goggins outside of
Yes.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
You guys knew who Walton Goggins
Oh,
was
for
before
Sure,
that,
yeah,
though,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I keep seeing people be like, finally, Walton Goggins getting the note he deserves, and I'm like, what? Was he?
I think there's something
Well,
about this
he's getting
series
like
because
notoriety higher than ever before.
No, but I've been seeing like, yeah, he's one of Canada's best. Finally, people in America
Ooh.
know who he is.
I mean that's weird because like
I
I
did
knew
not
who
even know
Walton
he was
Goggins
Canadian.
was, but I mean I guess on one hand it's like in the Fallout series he is portraying a leading man in a way,
Hmm.
and he is a
Mm.
leading man in the show. So he's getting
Hmm.
that kind of top billing that he has had less of. He's often played
Maybe
like
that's
a
And he has a
really
lot of range
compelling
as that
heavy or
character,
character
too.
actor. But yeah, he gets to do so much, and it's stupendous. So yeah, check it out.
nice.
Oh yeah, that show's so fun. I just haven't had time. I've been like we watch both Fallout and X-Men. Have you watched X-Men yet?
X-Men
Are you gonna
97
watch
is good.
X-Men?
I've watched like 3 episodes. I need to get back
Okay.
into that. That's kind of one of those things too where I mean, now I'm playing Baldur's Gate until it suddenly I
Yeah,
look at the
that's
clock
fair.
and go, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck, I should have been asleep 3 hours ago."
That happens. I am one episode off on X-Men, but like there have been multiple episodes where I'm like, I'm crushed. I'm just gonna cry for the rest of the next 2 weeks and then not be okay for a while. But that's how like every episode ends. Every episode is just like an emotional journey and a roller coaster.
It's cool that someone finally, I mean, and granted, like the original X-Men that was on in the 90s got this to an extent because it also really played into the social commentary stuff. But X-Men 97 seems to really understand that, like, hey, the X-Men has always been an allegory about civil rights and the way people mistreat other people just based on minor differences that don't have to be consequential but get ballooned to them.
Blown way out of proportion.
Yeah, great shows. Just very happy about both of them. I'm glad you like Fallout. I'm excited to finish it and excited to watch Fall Guy. I've been wanting to watch that, but I was waiting for someone to give me a good review.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I go into it and Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling and it's a bad movie, I'm going to be so upset. And it is a roll of the die lately going to see a movie.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah. No, it's
even with good names.
it's so fun. It's just so fun. It's like if you want to have a good time at the movie theater and leave the movie theater going like, wow, I experienced genuine escapism for 2.5 hours where my life ceased to exist and I lived in this wonderful realm of magic. Yeah.
The
it's
cinema.
great.
Civil War is the opposite. You're like, oh my God, this is the darkest.
Yeah. This is a reflection of reality.
And then you just like look around and you're like, how soon will this happen? How long do we have? Should I get that water catch that I've been thinking of, or should I wait? I don't know.
Use our promo code for water catches.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I have any Garf news. I believe my last mouth news was that all my teeth hurt.
No.
That still is the case. I have a dentist appointment coming up. Why would all of them hurt?
Are you grinding more? Because you are in a state of...
You know what?
Yeah.
I think you might have just cracked it.
Or your tooth. Cracked your tooth.
Is your mouth guard retainer thing fully destroyed? Because you had broken
not
enough.
fully, but I did lose another piece.
Yeah, that sounds about right then.
Yeah, which I just want to remind you and the listeners, I never find those pieces. I'm swallowing those.
Macroplastics.
Macroplastics.
It'll come out in your poop. It's okay. It's when they're smaller and then they combine with your DNA or whatever. I don't understand how it works. It's science.
No, what if it perforates my whatever?
It won't. It's got to be
tube,
metal,
my inner
right?
tubes.
Eat a lot of bread. Just
Your
eat a lot
inner
of bread.
tubes. Your inner tubes.
Your internet?
Yeah, what if it perforates my inner tubes? Oh no.
I've got something similar is because I've been chomping so much. It's because like it's not at night. It's like I'm focused on it during the day.
Oh yeah.
As you know, rough week. So like I constantly am like, I can't stop chewing, can't stop chewing, can't stop chewing my own teeth, can't stop chewing my own teeth.
Well, and the Invisalign, I feel like encourages
because it's like a foreign object in your mouth. Sorry, I'm so
and it has like it's almost like tacky.
Yeah,
like when you clap them together, so it's like it was like a nervous habit for me when I had mine.
I was gonna say you can probably hear it during the recording that I'm like.
I did just assume you had a
squirrel
there, but I guess
no. I'm actually squirrel girl. Fun fact.
I wish. I would be so stoked if I knew Squirrel Girl. That would be great.
I would be stoked as well. I do have some.
Our audience would like quadruple immediately.
Oh god,
You got squirrels. You bring them in. You make them listen.
And we could probably meet Ryan North.
But I got some fun bird
What's your
news.
bird news?
I went on a walk at a local lake, Lake Atalanta. I don't know if Kelly, you know Lake Atalanta.
I recall.
They have done very many updates. It's a very nice public park lake now that has like a
That's
nice path around it. But they had a heron. There was like a heron, and I videotaped it eating fish, and it was so cute.
Oh,
It was so
yay.
majestic, and it was like they also have like hundreds of turtles. So like I looked at turtles, I looked at heron, just one. I was gonna say herons,
Just
but there was
one.
only one. I saw one otter, but I was like, man, I don't know if you guys understand my happy place, but my happy place is just looking at animals. Not in a zoo setting in their natural
No.
habitat.
Mhm.
So going to that and just staring at turtles for like an hour was like my zen. And the
Oh, that
heron, I
sounds
just stood
great.
there and there was like two old ladies next to me and they were also videotaping it and we were both videotaping it. And I was like, this is such a magical moment because it was feeding and it just like you could see it like hone in on a fish and just whoop.
Yeah.
And then
That's
you just see
crazy.
its wings just flap out.
Whoa.
was
There's
beautiful.
like a crane that lives down by the creek near us.
Mm.
And you say creek, but
Whoa.
it's easily a river. It's a massive width of
Mm.
water.
Oh,
But
okay.
he will do the same thing. He'll sit down there.
Yeah.
There are these kind of man-made sort of waterfalls to control the flow of the creek down. And so he'll
Oh.
stand at the base of one of those. There's a group of rocks, and he stands on the rocks and waits, and then just like I've seen him like he dips his head into the falling water and like grabs fish out as they come tumbling over the edge. It's beautiful. It's so cool.
Yeah.
We had a
It's the
couple of
best thing to
Nature.
watch.
we had a couple of little birds in our backyard today. They're like a blue-gray color. They're
Oh.
definitely there's some kind of songbird. They're beautiful.
Mhm.
But we have like a little wild strawberry growth in our yard, and
Aw.
I had never really paid attention that much, but I noticed like, oh yeah, they just hop over and they're just like plucking wild strawberries off and munching them. So I
Oh,
looked out at the thing and I was like, oh yeah,
yay.
like half of these are missing. Well, good. As long as they're going to a good cause. Like you guys come in and eat them.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
pleasant.
I was doing some photo identification on a bunch of my trees, and I've got a crabapple tree and a possible cherry tree. I don't have the
Ooh.
expectation that I will be able to eat any of them, but I do have the expectation of it bringing little animals, which is. Oh,
Yeah.
also, there was like, okay, do squirrels bury into trees?
I think so. Yeah, they should burrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of my limbs on a very large tree fell down. We've had really bad storms and they have fallen down and they were hollow. And now I have to look at getting a really old, really large tree taken down.
Oh,
So it's gonna
shit.
be really expensive. But I was like, oh, we got some squirrel burrows in here because the giant limbs that have fallen, I'll send you guys a picture, are like empty and huge. And they have like a little hole. And
Whoa.
it's been, at first we thought it might have been termites, but it looks like squirrel.
Could be. Yeah, it could be termites
Hmm.
too, but yeah,
Yeah.
squirrels could dig that out.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't have any garf
Critters.
news, but those are my teeth, and that's my animals. Any bug news? Ooh, slugs. Got a lot of slugs right now.
It's
It's been
slug
pretty
season.
Oh,
cool.
it's slug
Peak
season.
slug
Yeah.
season.
And somebody was like, "Oh, just put salt on them," and I was like, "No, I'm not here to
Why?
hurt them.
Oh, they're cool.
I just like did not need them on my package whenever I got my package the other day.
Yeah, they're snails without
Yeah.
I was
backpacks.
like-
Leave them alone.
I still picked them up and put them elsewhere. Like we keep them safe. We keep them sluggy.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
No.
They're not hurting anyone. They're just, you know.
Yeah, they just make little slime
You
trails.
understood.
Yeah.
But don't we all?
Yeah, they're gross, but that doesn't mean they're bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Are we ready to play a
I
game?
think so. I'm so excited. Wait, I'm not excited.
You're not? You
Yes.
are. You're not?
I
You
am,
are.
but I'm trying to be very calm about it.
Great.
hmm
I think
Kelly already saw part of it.
you did. You already got one of them. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to do a big thing when we get to question number 2. I'm gonna put that out there for you right now. Question number 2 is where you're
Okay.
gonna want to shine.
Question number 2.
Nice.
It's time to
Okay.
play. I see what you did there.
Yay.
Put my mic in my bra.
Okay, I was
I'm having
confused
to
about
hold
what
it today,
happened.
but I need to take notes.
Listeners, send us some money on Patreon, and this will happen every episode.
This is my OnlyFans. It's like Breakfast Club,
Oh, with
where
lipstick.
she does the lipstick.
Yeah,
With the
yeah, yeah.
microphone.
So these are all Vine related. It's going to be Vine personalities and other
Okay.
Vine connected things. Number one, these edgelord brothers started making videos on Vine before
Ugh.
moving on to YouTube, among other video platforms, and their current forays into pro wrestling and boxing.
Oh.
And this is a word taken from the novel, taken from the title of a 1913 novel describing a person characterized by irrepressible optimism and a tendency to find good in everything.
Pollyanna?
Pollyanna, you got it. Great.
Oh,
Now you need to.
Logan and what's his
Jake.
Jake Pollyanna.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake and Logan Pollyanna.
The minute you said edgelords, I was like, oh, like I know who
You immediately
mean.
know, yeah. Well, because any other form of obscuring it would have been unfair.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of only, I mean, otherwise, what? I'm going to be like, they poked at a dead body in Japan. Like, that's the only other thing I could have said.
Ah,
But I don't want to,
forgot about
I
that.
don't want to go there necessarily. I'll just go there after the question while explaining.
Right, yeah.
The question.
Yeah.
All right. Number two, in 2013, this obscure French music duo revealed the track listing for their album Random Access Memories via a Vine video. And this is an 80s sitcom about a girl played by Soleil Moon Frye who enters foster care with her dog Brandon after being abandoned in a Chicago shopping mall.
I did not know that was the
It sure
plot.
is. It's a
Daft-
dark ass show.
Daft Punky Brewster.
Yeah, Daft Punky Brewster. You see what I did there? Yeah. That's a dark pilot for a show that children are supposed to enjoy.
That is heavy.
Not so. Because I believe her dad has already abandoned the family, and then the mom ditches her at the mall,
Whew.
and that's like how she begins her random journey.
Those are some hard times.
Yeah. She's got a right to be punky. I'd be punky too.
Yeah, same. Was that the bucket hat with the flower on it?
That's
Is that her?
Blossom.
That's Blossom.
Yeah.
That's
Punky
Blossom.
Brewster
Of
was
course, the flower, of course.
overalls with like blue overalls and bright colored
Okay.
stuff and patchwork stuff on the pants.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she usually had pigtails or
She
something.
did have a hat. Oh.
She might have had a baseball cap that she
She
wore
had a
sometimes.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Like she's kind of tomboy.
yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
do try to she's all that her at some point later in the run of the show.
They'd
That
have
sounds
to
about right.
legally during that time
Yeah.
period.
Yeah, you're gonna have to we're gonna have to do a Pygmalion, guys. Because I mean,
That's the she's all that clause.
Oh god.
okay. Number three. This SpongeBob character, quote, hits the dab in a popular meme that originated on Vine. And this, also known as the Tesla Tower, was an early experimental wireless transmission station designed and built by Nikola Tesla on Long Island from 1901 to 1902.
So it's Squidward.
Yeah.
It is Squidward. It's almost
What?
impossible
What's
to
the
get the
second
second
part?
half. I'm sorry. This is
Okay,
like
give us hints. Give us weird hints around it.
Yeah. Weird hints.
Squidward, finger monkey.
okay. So you've got
Finger monkey.
Ward is the bridge, and the first
Yeah.
half of this is a 2-syllable word, 2 syllables.
Okay.
Okay. 2 syllable.
The first half is the name of a person who oversees a prison.
Okay.
The second word,
Warden?
second syllable, is a ledge or edge of a rocky sort of outcropping. People dive off of them.
Warden
Warden Cliff, great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Warden
Squid
Cliff?
Warden Cliff?
And Tower, it Warden Cliff Tower. Yeah.
Tower.
Oh.
We had it. We did it.
Squid Warden Cliff Tower. You see what I did there. I really wanted to include the Squidward thing because this is the art that I would buy. I would buy the Squidward does the
Oh.
dab where the guys are watching the parade
Got
and
it.
he's like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You said it involved a parade. Of course, it's the Squidward dab.
That is the one that I would buy on a flash drive as art. Number 4, this word means the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means, usually with the help of gods and goddesses. And this is how we commonly refer to Francis Scott Key's most famous musical composition.
Diva National
You see what I
Anthem.
did there? Diva National Anthem.
Yay!
Boom.
Yay!
Nice job.
It's got
Hell, you
Vine
killed
in it. Okay, number five. Number five. In this classic song covered by The Miracles, Marvin Gaye, Gladys Knight and the Pips, and Creedence Clearwater Revival, among others, the speaker learns of relationship infidelity thanks to a network of secondhand reports. And this is a durable, low-maintenance protective material attached to the exterior side of a wall of a house or other building.
Heard it through the great vinyl siding.
Jumpin' Jack flashing.
I
What?
like both of your answers. Chelsea is correct, though. It is. I heard it through the grape.
What did you
She
say?
said, I heard it
Oh.
through the grape vinyl siding.
Vine.
Jumpin' Jack
Of course, I
flashing.
forgot. That's what
Yeah.
we were focused
But
on.
I like jumpin' jack flashing. That is great. 'Cause flashing is also
I
important to
couldn't-
the exterior protection of a house.
I couldn't remember the plot
That was
of Jumpin'
good.
Jack Flash.
That was good.
You see what I did there?
Yay!
Let's talk Debs.
How many Debs? How many Debs? How many Debs? How many Debs?
What do we think about the first Vine, or maybe Vine in general, or maybe just this episode? Did we leave the rails effectively and bring it back in to create something cohesive that a listener might like?
Maybe. Can we
were
not rate it
like
off
that
that?
first?
We don't have to. Yeah.
We were like that first Vine about the train. That was us. The one that nobody has seen. That was us, just in and out of the station.
We swear it exists, but no one needs to see it. It's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
No one needs to see it. I was thinking about this before we recorded. And I was like, I fucking loved Vine. I loved Vine. I was so sad when it ended. But it did lead to all of the short form content now that I don't love. So now I feel I loved it at the time, and now I feel ambivalent about the legacy. And I did not care for that first Vine that we saw, the steak tartare.
It doesn't
Didn't
do a
love
lot
that.
for you.
That
Steak tartare,
Vine
no, thank you.
specifically gets a 1.
It's
The vine itself is a one.
it's frustrating because in the way that many TikToks will, in very short order, teach you how to make a dish, this does not. It doesn't actually
Yeah.
inform you about how to do anything. It's just a kind of poorly cobbled together montage of the creation of it.
Yeah, and when it's raw meat, you really you can't be fucking
true.
around,
It's
you
true.
know? Like you can like be pretty slapdash with like a pasta
Yeah.
and you're not going to die. But you can't be eating raw meat based on this Vine.
It's very true. Do not eat raw meat based on the Vine that exists. It would be like watching Rocky and then going like, oh, I should just crack raw eggs into tomato juice and drink that to be strong like Sly. And a lot of people did that for a long time.
Did they get some of
know,
that,
that's
or was
still-
that like not a thing? Did people not? Do people not?
Some of them
Ugh.
did.
I'm
you
sure,
know?
yeah, I'm sure some people got
Somebody did.
it. Probably was just food poisoning though, because I don't even think we talked about like what specific. Well, maybe they did talk
Oh.
about what specific things were going
don't
on in
know.
the 70s. I don't. Anyway,
They were like everyone's just throwing up.
yeah, people be barfing.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's the 70s.
People be
What
barfing.
can we say?
Nixon's in power. People be
You
barfing.
can't tell what it's from. We just know that they're doing it. So,
Yuck.
ugh.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like I got to give this the whole thing a 3 because to your point,
Yeah.
Kelly, it's
Yeah.
like so many cool things kind of came out of this, but so many terrible things just that sort of fed into the exploitational nature of everything came out of this. And
Right.
this is like an artifact of the last gasp, perhaps, of an era where that wouldn't be the sole focus of everything. Whereas like, oh, we made an
Yeah.
app where you can just share stuff and it'll be fun
Yeah.
and you'll create a community and people will love it. And then, oh, wait, we're not going to make a lot of money. Let's just shut it down because this is stupid. And now everything has some sort of IPO thing that it leads to, and nobody likes it. Like the Reddit people don't like that happened and whatever. Like everything's just always this
Yeah.
like, well, how do we make a bunch of money off of this? Because otherwise, what's the point? And that becomes the great question of like, the point should be that we can make each other happy. Like, isn't that a good thing?
Fun.
Look at all these
Fun is the
chickens.
point.
Right.
Look at
Look
all
at all these chickens.
God. Do you remember that one where the guy brings a helium balloon into his car and then the car starts to float away after the driver goes, "Are those helium balloons?" Oh, man. I could just reminisce about
All
my
the best
Vines.
behinds.
See, and for
Yeah.
that reason,
You wanna go
I
back
gotta give
up,
it a
but
4.
All right. Yeah, sure.
Vine as a whole gets a 4 for me because you're right. It did like build a community and it felt so pure
Yeah.
for a long time. And I still love those, like, God, 6 seconds was just perfect. Like, people had to be so creative and so tight and the jokes were so fast. And like, that is incredible. And I don't know that we'll ever see that again.
Yeah.
And God, the memes. you
Yeah.
The
know?
memes.
We now have the memes.
I feel like I'm also gonna go with the 4 because 1 for the steak tartare as well.
Yeah.
But I would say 5 in general for the existence of Vine as a platform because it did end up creating a bunch of creators, but it did launch a bunch of creators who ended up going onto YouTube who I follow today and that I think are
Oh, same.
amazing. And like, because I get to continue to follow these people's career and long form videos, even you still care about them as people and you still laugh at the really short videos they had a long time ago. And it's
Yeah.
nice to look back on, and it's nice to look at Roadworks. I sure hope it does, and then watch Dugan's video that he released like 2 weeks ago on the Tesla Cybertruck being shit. So like, great, love it. So like, I don't know. I like that it introduced me to a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have looked at otherwise, and I also like that there are people that I didn't realize were connected to jokes in Vine that are now like big creators, like Anthony Padilla. He did this 2 guys in a hot tub 6 feet apart because we're not gay. He did that
Got
one.
it. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's him. Oh, I had no idea. Because you don't ever see him in the video. It's just like somebody talking. And then you're like, oh, okay, funny.
Yeah.
But I just like that it gave people an outlet. And I like, I like the, and I think Vine helped with this a lot, including YouTube, but the democratization of people being able to be creators and people being able to put stuff out there. And I feel like Vine was one of the first things to do it. Like Twitter did do it. Vine did it in a video sense, but like giving people the capability of getting views of people that aren't their friends. Cause you have like journals before that, but you were only really friends with your friends. And maybe every now and then you subscribe to a blog, but it's not as overarching.
Yeah.
Vine was like the first thing that really like captured people in a sense that was like, I don't know, gaining a big audience. Twitter and Vine, I think, were the two. Like, you gain an audience, and you can get an audience from video, you can get an audience from words, but those were the two that I felt like really, really pulled it together.
I do think YouTube did in the very early days, but we hadn't seen it in years before Vine was at it again. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stick with my 3 just for the someone's got to
fair.
bring the
That's
average
fair.
down a little.
I was like, wait,
bit.
hold on. Should we do math? Is one of them? Are you sure? Because this is gonna make math a little bit weird.
It's okay. Nobody holds us to it.
We're dumb. Are you sure?
On our next episode, we are going to have a very special returning guest. You're gonna know her.
That's right.
You're gonna love her. You're gonna recognize her because she's gonna be back on the show, and you already listened to the time she was on the show before. I'm not gonna say who she is. You're gonna have to come back for that. But we're gonna be talking about the first trapeze artist.
Yes.
And I just feel like we're probably all gonna be flying high for that one.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
And
I'm gonna text her, let her know to be ready.
and
for
as
that.
usual, we will be podcasting without a net.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
If you like this show, go ahead and hit us up on the old iTunes/Apple podcast. Give us 5 stars. Leave a review. Say whatever you want in a review. Talk to us about
Tell
Vine.
us your favorite Vine.
Tell us your favorite Vine.
Which Vine would you buy as art?
That's a great question. Yes. Which Vine would you buy as art? Put that in the review. Heck, email us. debutbuddies@gmail.com. We will compile a list of everybody's Vines that they would buy as art. We'll read them. We'll read them on the show. We will credit whatever goofy name you put in there. So if you say, "Oh, my name is Snuffle Ass Poo Bandit," we'll say that.
Yep.
Snuffle ass poo bandit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll
As a
attribute to that.
PD. Not to be confused with San Antonio Police Department.
Not to be confused with it. Though maybe rhymed in a song, in a creative video.
Maybe we have layers just like
A
Kendrick
6
Lamar.
second video. Oh, we got to do Lamar bit.
So yeah, give us that 5 stars. We love you forever for that. You should also check out the music of Michael J. O'Connor. Go to michaeljoconnor.bandcamp.com to listen to him. He's got more bands. I think he's touring. He's doing some shows. If you're in the Northern California region, you can go check him out. He's great. You're gonna love him. He does all the music on here, which is inarguably the best produced stuff on the entire show.
Amen.
Oh, and if you missed me and Chelsea in the off weeks, you can find us over at Never Show the
Maybe.
Monster, where we are talking about horror movies. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Listen, life is stressful.
Life is very stressful. We will be.
I had so much fun
Probably.
We will
listening
be.
to the new episodes and listening to you guys talk about
Thanks.
Abigail, among other things.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. I forgot.
Great stuff.
It's been a long 2 weeks.
Yeah. I thought it was 3 years. Oh, God.
I don't know.
We might talk about tarot at some point, so watch that. Give that a
Ooh.
watch.
That's, yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled.
That was one of the available options in the movie theater this last weekend, and I thought about it. But maybe next time. Maybe next time. Thanks so much for listening to us. It's always great. It's great to have you here. You know, this is a cozy living room podcast. You join us every 2 weeks. And we talk about
We're your
stuff.
buddies.
You know, we're here. Yeah, we're all buddies.
We're your
Buddies
buddies.
here.
Mhm. Thanks for being a bud.
Boom, 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 boom.
Travel down this road and had
Get
enough.
Michael J. O'Connor on the horn. We need a cover.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for spending 6 seconds of your time with us roughly 1,000 times. Yo-ha.
Yo-ha.
Bye, buddies.
Okay, love you. Bye.
First is best, or first is worst.